Welcome! On this channel, we share the freshest insights from the world of neural networks, hardware, and technology. Subscribe right now so you don't miss a thing. And if you need your own AI agent, reach out and I'll help you build one tailored to your needs. Today, we're stepping into a kind of magical digital realm, a place where ancient folklore meets cutting-edge technology. We're going to explore a brand new creation straight from Sakana AI. It's bringing a lot of bold promises to the table, so let's dive right in and see what it can actually do. Can a real-time speech model truly run entirely on a single local server? Think of this explainer as a bit of a quest. We're on the hunt for a clever architecture for voice conversations. Because, let's be honest, we all dream of a truly sovereign digital space, right? A place where our data stays safe and sound at home. We want powerful, responsive artificial intelligence right in our own local environments. Kind of like this glowing mechanical turtle, just swimming gracefully through deep neon waters. And the foundation of that dream brings us to a new model called Kame. Now, the word Kame simply translates to turtle, but its actual definition in this context is way more complex. It represents a real-time tandem architecture for speech. It's specifically designed to work smoothly and process voice conversations exactly as they happen naturally. It uses a clever tandem approach to juggle multiple tasks at once, all to give you a perfectly flowing dialogue.
To really appreciate this, we're comparing two very different architectures here. On one side, you have direct speech models. These act incredibly fast, almost instantly responding to your voice, but they tend to lack deep knowledge and true wisdom. On the flip side, you have cascaded systems. These are incredibly smart, but man, they are so slow to respond. They take way too much time to think, which makes conversations feel clunky and unnatural. So we desperately need something that bridges that gap, something that balances pure speed with real intellect seamlessly.
And that's exactly where Kame finds the perfect middle path. It runs a super fast model right on the front lines to act as that quick, responsive voice. But at the exact same time, there is a powerful LLM thinking deeply behind the scenes. It's honestly like the wise goddess Mokosh sitting at her dark wood loom, effortlessly weaving 4 glowing streams of light into one beautiful tapestry. This setup literally allows the model to speak out loud while it is still actively thinking about its next words.
So let's take a look at the actual hardware we use to test this magic. We set up our Bogater outpost on a reliable Ubuntu operating system, housing an NVIDIA RTX 6000 card right inside this sturdy wooden hut. It's packing an impressive 48 gigabytes of VRAM memory. This is a seriously powerful setup, perfectly suited for heavy neural networks. You can even spot our faithful Domovoy spirit hanging out here, reliably guarding the home server to make sure everything runs smoothly in our little digital domain.
Getting everything set up felt incredibly smooth, almost magical, really. We used the Yovi package manager to handle all those complex dependencies. The project initialized directly from GitHub straight into our local environment, and everything downloaded so fast. It was completely ready to be awakened. It really felt like bringing a complex architectural spell to life right before our eyes, as the modern server racks hummed with this beautiful blue backlight. But here is where we uncover a pretty tense and honestly somewhat sad truth. Our beautiful setup is actually not completely local after all. To pass through the gates of this architecture, you must essentially pay tribute to greedy Koschei, sitting on his dark throne of rusty servers, demanding glowing golden coins for passage. Simply put, we cannot run this entirely on our own isolated hardware just yet. We are completely forced to rely on external powers to make the magic actually work. And the exact tribute required by the sorcerer is actually pretty heavy. You absolutely need an OpenAI API key to proceed with the dialogue processing. And on top of that, you also need specific Google Cloud credentials just to handle the heavy speech recognition part. Without these specific keys, the whole magic simply stops working completely. It makes the local server totally useless in an instant. We can only cross our fingers and hope for purely local updates really soon to break this dependency. Even with that required tribute, we pushed forward on our digital quest. And we finally launched the local Kame server with a lot of anticipation. It was fascinating to watch it come alive on our screen. It opened up specifically on port 8998, glowing just like a magical oven. The heat was intense, sure, but perfectly contained within our local system. We were totally ready to see what this tandem architecture could really pull off. Now, the memory numbers required for this are pretty significant. As the giant model loaded heavily into our system, it quickly ate up over 18 gigabytes of VRAM just to awaken from its slumber. That is a massive amount of memory for any home server, but honestly, not bad for this level of complexity. Our faithful Domovoy handled the heavy load incredibly well, keeping everything completely stable as we geared up for our very first live voice test. And this is where the beautiful magic sadly failed us. It was a true disaster. We launched the voice test just hoping to tell a simple, everyday story about a neighbor. But it was like a mischievous swamp spirit aggressively interfered with the stream of light. An evil Kikimora basically tangled all the glowing blue wires and completely ruined our conversation. The speech recognition just dropped out entirely and completely failed to hear our words at all. The live test was honestly deeply disappointing. The model completely hallucinated. It started making up things that were absolutely never spoken by us. It completely ignored our actual words and just wandered off into its own digital dreams. That deep thinking we were hoping for was completely absent. Sakana promises a lot of magic here, but they really dropped the ball without truly independent local components. It just proves how desperately we need a system that actually listens to us, completely locally. This entire experience illustrates a really important lesson. It shows us that even the most beautiful concepts can have some pretty big flaws when you actually test them in reality. But we absolutely must not lose our hope for the digital future. So please consider becoming a channel sponsor. Your support really helps the project grow as we continue to explore all this magic together. We have to test everything with our own hands and learn from every magical failure we encounter, because there are so many more discoveries waiting for us in this bright new world. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Will you help build a truly sovereign future, a place where artificial intelligence runs entirely on your own local hardware? That bright future is already here, and we're working hard to make it run on our own servers, building truly sovereign voice models together, totally free from external control. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I can't wait to explore more with you next time.